Please join me in chanting the prayers. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nidinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Bhasha Dadeshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Connect to the geyser. Hare Krishna. So I'll just give you the quick intro on what we are going to discuss, and then we get into the today's topic, which is the Karma Yoga more exclusively. So okay, let me start with some story. So there was this story of three friends. Some of you might already know this. So these three friends, one time they went to, for a vacations. Now this is the vacation time and people plan. So they went to the New York and then they wanted to have the fun, the good time. So they went and they had the big plan to visit many places. And they booked their accommodation in one of the very, big hotel, 5-star. And they were very excited about first time they were been there in the city. And when they were all there, whole day they planned, they went outside and visited many places. And they were enjoying to their heart's content. Finally, at the late night when they returned back, very happy, very excited, and they came back to the hotel and they booked the room, which was on the top floor. So like some 70th or 80th floor. They wanted to see the whole view of the city. So they were very excited that whole day we just visited the city. In the night we'll go and then we could see the whole city. And to their surprise, when they came, they were shocked to see something. There was a notice on the elevator, out of order. So the whole day's excitement and happiness is like how like it cannot be expected, like this kind of hotels, and then lift is out of, elevator is out of order. And what to do? We are already tired, but we had to just make the point. So they thought, okay, no problem. Maybe that is also will be another adventure and fun that we have to go to the 70th floor. So let's start walking together, three friends, and it will be too tiring. So we have to keep ourselves engaged in doing something. So they decided that, okay, we should, share some of the life stories and some experiences. And that way, we'll be engaged, and while talking, we'll just reach there and without that we reach there. So it's a great idea. We should do that. And as they started walking upstairs, they started, from the first friend, started narrating this story. And he shared his story and experiences of his life, all the adventurous moments. And the other friends were hearing with great attention. And by the time he finished, they almost reached like 20, 25 floors. And the second friend, he started telling his story. And then he was sharing with great excitement. And by the time they reached, the 50th floor, another like few more floors. And then it was a turn for the third friend. And then he says, "You are not speaking something, you should also share some story." He said, "What should I share actually? My story, my life story is a tragic story." So that's okay, no problem. We shared whatever it was. You should also share. For all we are all friends. So share your story. And we like sometimes tragic stories also. Says my story is that we are here in the city, New York. We booked the hotel on the 70th floor in this great hotel. And when we came back, the lift elevator was out of order. And then we started walking. We already reached the 50th floor. And now I realize we forgot the key at the reception. And that is the tragic story of the third friend. Now we all laugh on the story, but the story actually is very relevant. Actually, it is the story of all our life. We all, climb many floors in our life in terms of some success, in terms of money, power, position, accusations, and all of that. But many times we all miss out the key at the reception, the key of happiness. People, despite achieving all the great heights in their life, their dream job, their dream city, and whatever, and still they feel like somehow they are not happy and satisfied. So that is the story. So Bhagavad Gita actually guides us that what is the problem? Why people are not happy? Something is missing despite all kinds of achievements, money, power, position, good relations, and everything is there in their life. But still many times people feel that something is missing, and people most of the time they don't have any clue. What is that something which is missing? So when we start reading Bhagavad Gita, then we start to get the idea, the clue that what is that something is missing. So that missing link, and that link is called in Bhagavad Gita yoga. So unless we are in yoga, unless we are in connection with the Lord, the Supreme Lord, or whatever we do, if it is not in connection with the source of the true happiness, then no matter what we achieve in our life, we'll always be disappointed and dissatisfied. That is why in this Bhagavad Gita is the book of yoga, as famous. Worldwide people know that book of yoga means the Bhagavad Gita. Right. So we will be understanding this different kind of yogas. So the idea of yoga is to link, to connect to the source, which can truly give us the experience of true happiness in our life. That's the whole idea of reading Bhagavad Gita, understanding these concepts. Right? Many times, again, I'm talking about this holiday season. That people when they plan to relax. What are the top ways that you think people plan to relax in this modern age? What do you think? Anybody can help me with some answers? Okay, watching something like TV or maybe internet or something. Binge watching. They go for vacations, they watch. Okay, those who are joining us online can hear my question and help me with the answer. What are the top 4 ways is considered as people to relax in this modern age? So somebody said they watch. Somebody said they go on vacation. What else? Spending money. Okay. Vacations. Yeah, somebody already said vacations. What else? Yes. People sleep because they're so exhausted, they're so tired times. So people sleep. Yes, that is also actually that is. So if you go and search the 4 or the top ways to relax, so either they go on vacations or they watch the television or something internet, either they sleep or they intoxicate actually, most of the people. So now this is something interesting. Why I'm bringing this point is something interesting to note here. Like all these 4 items: intoxication, sleeping, holidays, going on vacations, or watching something. There is a common thread into all of those 4 things. Let me see if anybody can figure out that what is that common thread that all of those people are trying to do by doing all these things. Gratification. Yes, somebody said sense gratification. Okay, that is also good answer. But more specific answer, as Mataji said already, disconnecting. So basically what people they try to do is, this is called escape from the reality. Current reality is too horrible. They just want to escape, and that is what they think, okay, that will give me some relaxation. But the reality is how much, you can sleep, how long you can watch, how many days you can spend in vacations, right? And how much you can intoxicate. Ultimately, those things, they think that it will give me some joy and some happiness. But as Krishna says, that dukkha yonaya eva, the Bhagavad Gita guides us, that it result in more and more frustration. If you too much sleep, as Krishna will talk in the 6th chapter, that if everything should be very regulated, everything should be very in a disciplined way. They say don't sleep too much, don't sleep too less also. Everything has to be regulated. So they say that if you sleep too much, you become lazy. And if you sleep too less, you become crazy. So either of that. So Krishna says it should be balanced. Everything should be balanced. Don't eat too much. Don't sleep too much. Don't work too much. Right? So people can't do that. And if you try to do that too much, then it will result in frustration. So what people are trying to do is escape from some reality. Now there is a very interesting, thread that you can find through Bhagavad Gita, that the soul, the living entity, is trying to escape from this reality, which is very artificial to us. This material world is the reality, which is actually very artificial to the soul. We're all trying to escape from this reality in different ways and means. Your soul is looking for something which is its real food, right? Actually, there is one philosopher, he said that, uh, if I find the desire in my heart, which no experience of this world can fulfill the desire, I must conclude that I belong to the different world. A thoughtful man said that. And that is what exactly the Bhagavad Gita talks about, that we don't belong to this world. We belong to some other reality, right? And the idea of Bhagavad Gita is that yoga means that connection to that reality, which we originally, constitutionally belong to, right? People are trying to be happy and in so many ways. They says, okay, let me just become successful. And you can be successful. And people think success is equal to growth in your job and money and accusations and all of that. So growth and success and happiness. In general, a common man, they see all these things are like equal. If there is a growth in my life, then probably, that is considered as I'm successful, and that is considered that I'm the happiest person or I'm happy person. But the reality is none of those things are connected. The person can have a lot of growth. Still, he can be the most frustrated person in his life. Right? And growth is not equal to success. Right? So you cannot say that somebody has grown so much and he is the successful person. So the definition of success is a little different in Bhagavad Gita. What is the success? Success is not about having a big car and then two cars and then three cars and then iPad and then iPhone and then iPad so much, and that goes on. Not necessarily that you become happy. That is not necessarily like success or happiness. So the definition of happiness is a little different. But now interesting thing is what we are trying to bring here is that Bhagavad Gita is such a book, such a wonderful, the theology it is, that it doesn't say, though we are all agreeing to this point that, okay, this growth and so-called success and all of that doesn't really make me happy. But still the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is not that you should not be successful in your life, material success. You should not grow in your life. You should not have any ambitions in your life. That is not the idea, right? What Bhagavad Gita is teaching us is that we need not to turn away from all of those things. The philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is not the philosophy of isolation. Cut off from all this. No money, no power, no position. It will not make you happy. So don't worry about that. That is not the philosophy of Gita. So it's not the philosophy of isolation, it's the philosophy of integration. And you can still have a lot of money, you can still have a lot of ambitions, but do in integration, do in connection. And that is what is the art of yoga. Now, when we are talking about this yoga means the connection with the Almighty Lord. This yoga can be practiced in three different formats. So one thing is called Karma Yoga. Another way of doing it is the Bhakti Yoga. And then another one is called the Gyan Yoga. So today we'll be more focusing and we'll be covering all these three types of yogas, which has been described in the Bhagavad Gita in our coming sessions. But today we'll be more focusing on the Karma Yoga. What is this Karma Yoga? So Krishna is not asking that don't make money, don't desire money, become a poor, poverty-stricken person, then only you can connect to me. That is not the philosophy of Gita. So Karma Yoga means you can still have your ambitions, still you can be the rich person, you can have whatever you want to have, but learn. If you want to become a businessman, Krishna is saying, become a businessman in connection with me. That is what is the art that we learn from the initial 6 chapters, which is the Karma Yoga. If you want to become a mother, father, say, okay, become a spiritual mother, spiritual father, spiritual successful person, and like that. Right? Because ultimately, if that connection is not there, nobody can be happy, and that is the reality. This is the reality which we realize today, or maybe at the end of the life. One day we have to realize. Some unfortunate people, they won't even realize at the end of the life also. But this is the wisdom given here. Right? So there was, this one king, he, announced an open challenge, a competition. He called the people and he says that you look around, to the extent your vision goes, all this land, what you see around, This is all my land. Now, here is a challenge for all the people here, that you start running. You have the 1 minute time. You run, and in this 1 minute, you have to come back. So in that 1 minute running and coming back, how much ever land you can cover, that is yours. That's the challenge. Very fascinating, proposal. So people got excited, all the young people especially. So yeah, this is a great thing to have that. So then, some people came, and then one person, he started running, and he was very conscious. So he thought, I have 60 seconds. So I had to run now, and I had to come back also. So he said, I had to be very careful. So he ran 30 seconds, and to whatever extent he could run to 30 seconds. And after 30 seconds, he took a U-turn, started running back, and he reached on time in 1 minute. So king says, okay, whatever, mark this land, it is your land. So he was very happy. And then another guy, he got a little more excited, said, this looks like an easy thing to do. So I should run even a little more faster, and I should get more than him. So then he started running. He thought, I'll not run only just 30 seconds, I'll run 40 seconds. And while coming back, I'll just put all my force and energy to come back. So he started running for 40 seconds, he ran, and then 20 seconds only he had to come back. And then he put all his energy, all his force, and finally he made it. And he reached on like within 60 seconds. And then he got much more than the first guy. And he was very happy. The third person, he says, I should do little one step next. So he says, probably I should try to run maybe 42 seconds. This is a little sounds like a little practical. 50 seconds I can run and then come in 10 seconds. So he says, anyway, I have a lot of energy, and so he started running, and then he ran 42 seconds. As soon as 42 seconds, he took a U-turn, started running back to his death, almost like he ran, and somehow he made it. In 60 seconds, he came back, and everybody was so cheering, and he was also very happy and joyful. Oh, I got it. He was so happy and so excited. But because he ran so fast, his heartbeat was so much that he got the heart attack and died. And now, again, it's a little funny story, but that is again the real story for life. We run this much, that much, and then finally, when we come at the end of the day, as Prabhupada writes in one of the purport in Bhagavad Gita, what profited a man who win the whole world but lose his own soul? What is the profit that you lose in the course of making money? Like in this modern age, people work hard, they make a lot of wealth, but in making that wealth, they lose their health, and they spend all this wealth to get their health back. What is the profit? See? So people lose not only just their health, their relations, their character, and all of that. So that is not the way. So the point what we are trying to discuss here is that Krishna is guiding in Bhagavad Gita through this Karma Yoga section, that yes, you can still have the things, but learn the art, how to do that. Do the karma, do the actions, but do in connection. And that is what the connection part that we are learning through Bhagavad Gita, and that connection is called Karma Yoga. So the Karma Yoga, there's a lot of verses. I'm just trying to give you the gist of what is Karma Yoga. I'll keep it a little short today, and probably we can have more discussions, like people might have some more practical questions. So Krishna explains what is Karma Yoga. Many verses. I'll gradually just open up those verses. So one of the most famous words in the Bhagavad Gita that everybody practically quote, those who knows little bit of Bhagavad Gita, and they say, oh, Bhagavad Gita is Karm Karo Phal Ki Ichcha Mat Karo. Right? Everyone, without reading only, anybody can quote that. Just do your karma, don't worry about your results. That is what the Bhagavad Gita is. So actually, this is the misquote. It is not, nowhere the Krishna said that in Bhagavad Gita. And most of the people, you believe that, oh, this is what is the tagline. Right? This is coming from this 2.47, where Krishna says, Karmanya vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phal heturbhur mate sangosto karmani. Basically, what Krishna is saying, Karmanya vadikaraste, that you have the adhikar. Adhikar means you have the authority. You have the right to perform your karma. Do your duty. You have the right to perform your duties, but you don't have any control over your results. So Krishna never said that don't worry about results, don't desire the results. What he's saying is, you have no control over the results. Like the student goes for the exam, you have all the right that study well, prepare well, go write nicely and all that. But after that, the result is not in your control. So why this verse has been said there? to shift our focus from something which is within our control. And people most of the time they focus on something which is not in their control. So shifting the focus from something which is not in your control to something which is in your control. Results are not in your control. So if you keep thinking about the results all the time, which is anyway not in your control, what you get? So Krishna is teaching that art of doing work is that do your best and leave the rest. That's the formula. So you focus on what you can do your best. Put all your energy, time, skills, efforts, everything when you do something. So we learn, like in our training, in Krishna consciousness, they say that when you work as if everything depends on you. Philosophy Bhagavad doesn't say, anyway, Krishna is in control. If Krishna wish, he will give you the results. If he doesn't wish, he'll not give. Why you are taking too much of tension? Why you are becoming too anxious about the results? The real art is, the real philosophy is, when you work in a way as if everything depends on you. Means don't leave single stone unturned. All possible means that you should apply all time, energy, skills, efforts, and everything. And once your work is done, then you should think as if nothing depends on you. That is what is the philosophy of Gita. Karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. And you have the right to perform your duty, but you are not entitled, you are not in control of your results. This is what is the karma yoga. Learn. But now, simply just doing karma, every action is called the karma. But does any action or any activity, when you do, it becomes karma yoga? In that way, a thief who goes for stealing said, this is what is my karma. This is what is my profession. This is how I maintain my family. There are no other means. I have my wife, kids, and all that. So every night I had to plan and go and rob somebody's house. And that is what is my karma. And as I heard in Bhagavad Gita class, that I don't leave any single stone unturned. I just do my best to rob somebody's house and also not to be caught. Right. So karma yoga is a little more, deep. Every action what we do doesn't become karma yoga. It is a karma. So karma can be even sinful, like a person or the butcher or those who maintain the slaughterhouses. They're also doing the karma. So they can't say that, oh, this is my karma yoga. So you cannot justify like that. There is an art to do the karma. And that is what we need to learn. How do we do the karma? So it is explained that we do the karma which is prescribed to us. Only prescribed duties. Now in this modern age, unfortunately, it is very, very complex and very difficult to find out, to figure out what is prescribed duty. What is the duty? Everybody is doing job. So what is their prescribed duties? Very difficult to figure out. In the Vedic times, what happens? There is a Varnashram system, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Sudra, and it is very specified, defined duties. Brahman should do these activities. Yajan, Yajan, Patan, Patan, Dan, Pratigraha. Brahman will do that. That is his prescribed duties. And with those means, whatever comes, they will live happily. Kshatriya, they should, do all the ruling and administrative work and all of that. Vaishya, that Krasi Goraksha Vanijam, Vaishya Karma Suvavajam, that to maintain the cows and they had to do the farming. So in those days, in those systems, there is a prescribed duties were there for everyone. But in this modern age, what is the prescribed duty? How do we define that? Very complex. So then what is the way out? The only way out to practice this karma yoga. So what we are talking about is the traditional karma yoga, which was very easy. Brahmana will do the Brahmana karma. Kshatriya will do the Kshatriya karma. Vaishya will do the Vaishya karma. Shudra will do the Shudra karma. And happily they live. They don't compare with others. Oh, Kshatriya is, having a lot of opulence. I'm a poor Brahmana. I should also do something. Krishna warns actually in Bhagavad Gita, one should never try to imitate. What is that verse? 3.35. Shreyan Swadharma Vigno Paradharma Bhayavaha. So what Krishna is guiding is better you do Swadharma. If it is faulty also, choose always to do your Swadharma, then imitating others' dharma. Somebody says, I'm doing this job, some simple job, no money. Look at this person. He makes a lot of money. And I know that he does some little, golmaal, some cheating and all that. But after all, he is just enjoying the life. I should also try to do this. Maybe I can make for the short time. I do this and I make a lot of money and I'll get back to my original work. One should never try to do that. Never try to imitate. See, never try to copy others. This is a big problem in this modern age. Comparison. They say the three cancers in this modern age. There's so many varieties of cancers, but there are three cancers of mind. Three C's. What are the three C's? Comparison, criticism, and condemnation. So you compare with others. It's a cancer of mind. There's no point of comparing. You are designed in a different way. The other person is designed in a different way. So that is why Krishna is guiding how to do karma yoga. It is not only just keep doing whatever you want to do. Understand the art of doing the work. And that is do your duty, though it is faulty. And their examples are given. Anyway, we'll be covering those examples in the last section in the Gyan Yoga. So those examples are like, say, the Brahmana sometimes has to engage in, perform some kind of a sacrifice where there is some, the sacrifice of some animal is involved. Now, Brahmana is not supposed to do all these kind of actions where some killing is involved and all that. So this is the faulty thing. But then Brahmana has to do that. So though your work is faulty, still you do that. And by doing that work, your own dharma, you will advance. Kshatriya. Kshatriya has to rule and sometimes he has to be very harsh and very rude and he has to punish others. You may not like, oh, no, this is, on my part, it is very rude. I have to punish someone. But as a matter of duty, he has to do, though it is a fault. Vaishya means the business class. They had to speak a lie. Not like cheating. Lie is different. Sometimes, a shopkeeper can say that, oh, no, you are my friend. I'm not making any profit from you. Like that they say. That they have to tell the lies like that. It's a faulty thing, but it is allowed to do that. So this is the way to do the karma. So what we are learning here is how to do the karma. So karma is not just whatever you like and whatever you feel, you just do. First of all, understand your prescribed duties and then do, though if they are faulty. That is the way of doing the karma. And also, the most importantly, it should be done in connection. So the two things, when you want to, produce something, you want to make money or anything, any results. So you have to do the action. So do the work with dharma. Right. So they say that work with integrity. So that is one part. Do with dharma. And you have to learn the dharma. That is the whole Bhagavad Gita is there to teach us what is the dharma, how to do that. So one thing is you do your actions with dharma, with integrity. And it's not only just actions, but also what you do with the results of your actions. That is also very, very important. It's not like I very honestly, I just worked hard and a lot of money. Now I can do whatever I want to do. No, that is also not karma yoga. So it is producing the results and how to use the results. Right. So they say that, what we get in our life, that is the gift of God to us. And what we do with what we get in our life, that is our gift to God. So we should always remember that I'm doing something for the God. God has blessed me with so many things in terms of, intelligence, skills, money, power, or whatever. So this is the way that earn with integrity and then spent with generosity. Means use that money to bring some beautiful contribution in the world, help others, right? So just making money, like whole world, whole civilization is all about this. It's not against making money or earning more or aspiring more, but what we are talking here is how to utilize it. You can have all the facilities, all the comforts, but also think that how this can be utilized in creating some contribution for the betterment of the people around me, for my own betterment. Our money or possession should not degrade us. They should elevate us. That is the art. Right. So they say that, some people, they're so poor, they're so poor, they're so poor that all they have is money. Nothing else they have in their life. All money, money, money. They don't know how to utilize that money. Right. So this is the art of, karma yoga. Now, we'll just jump onto this direct section of karma yoga here now. So many times people say, yeah, there's all kind of concepts, Bhagavad Gita. When we talk, it sounds great. in this kind of settings, coming in the class in the temple, and all of that, do karma, connection with the Supreme Lord, and all of that. But my reality is that I don't have the time to do all of those things. How many of you think that you have that question? Some of you might be having. Some of you are not daring enough to raise your hand. But this is the kind of question, especially in this modern age. The modern disease is, the modern man's disease purpose is no time. The modern man's disease. Because we have created our life in such a way, we have created our life so complex that we have no time for the real things. So artificially that we are so entangled, right? So the point is, when somebody comes and say that, oh, there is no time, how to manage, how to figure out. So that is why the answer is here, that this philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is not the philosophy of isolation, but is the philosophy of integration. So this material life and the spiritual life, material activities and the spiritual activities, they don't go in sequence. That okay, let me just finish this first. Now let me just, make this much money, one house, one car, and then my kid should go to the college, and once he's settled, and he also get the job, and then he get married, and then I have the grandchild, and after that what will be there in my life? Then peacefully I'll sit and read Bhagavad Gita. There's no end to all those things. So the point is, the material activities and spiritual activities, they are not in sequence, one after another. They goes hand in hand. They goes parallelly. Right? And that is what is the Karma Yoga exactly is. That your ambitions, your desires to make money or to make anything can, if you learn that, it can be your spiritual connection. So what is the Karma Yoga? As Prabhupada explains, says, Yat karosi yadashnasi yat juhosi dadashiyat yat tapashyasi kaunteya tat kurusva mad arpanam. So this is the verse from the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita where Krishna explains what is Karma Yoga. Say Yat karosi, whatever you do, Yat juhasi, yat ashnasi, whatever you eat, Yat tapashyasi, if you do some austerity, some hard work, and then Yat dadasi means if you give some charity or something like that, tat kurus madarbanam. You should offer it to me, madarbanam. So that is what is. Okay, I think somebody is putting something here. So this is the Karma Yoga. And whatever we do, and is it possible now? Question is it possible when we are taking care of our family or job and so many other things, so many obligations and responsibilities, still can be in connection, can be in yoga? Is it possible? How many of you think it is possible? Those who are joining online, please say something, answer. Somebody is saying yes. Okay, I think many of you will say yes. Anybody is there who say no, it is not possible. Either I take care of my roles and responsibilities in this world, or I focus on all these spiritual connections. Okay, nobody is saying no. So everybody know the art of Karma Yoga. I think I chose the wrong topic. Okay. Yeah, it is very much possible. I'll tell you the story of, one time this Narad Muni. It's a very evident story. This Narad Muni, he met the Supreme Lord, Vishnu, and he asked, that how it is possible in this world. People are so entangled and so many things that to take care. It's not possible for them to, parallelly do both the things, that connection with you and then also taking care of the duties. So the Lord wanted to teach, not Narad Muni, but to all of us. Lord wanted to teach. And then he says, I'll answer you, but do just one thing. And Lord gave him one pot of a pot filled with oil to its brim. And then Lord gave him the task that he should go, take a round, do just one small parikrama of one place. And the condition is that not a single drop of the oil should spill. Just be careful. Come back and I'll answer you. So Narayana says, yeah, little challenging, but possible. I can do that. So then he took that pot, which was like to its brim, full with oil, and then he started walking very carefully, slowly moving, and very attentive and very watchful that not even one drop should spill. And it took a little time and then finally came back successful. Says yes. It is done. Done. He says, I did not drop even a single drop of the oil. So Lord asked, okay, while you're doing this, how many times you chanted my name? How many times you remember me? Because Narad Muni all the time, he keeps saying Narayan, Narayan. So he said, no, no, no. That time I had to be like fully focused. You gave me the task. I had to be fully attentive, fully focused. So I just focused on this. That time I did not care about all other, things. I was fully focused. And then Lord, pointed out to one farmer, one poor farmer who was working. He said, look at that person. Whole day is working hard morning to evening, going to his field and tilling the land and all of that hard work. But carefully watch him. While doing all of that, he's constantly keep chanting my name. So through this story, actually, the Lord teaches if we learn that it is very much possible, as Krishna confirms in Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna also asked this question. So Krishna answers, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mam anusmar yuddhacha mai arpit mano buddhir. So Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, in all situations, not only the situations that on Saturday evening when we come to the temple, peacefully we sit, that time, mai arpit mano buddhir. That time we'll focus on Krishna. In Kali Yuga, that is also difficult. That time also our mind just wanders. But Krishna is saying, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu, in all situations, mam anusmara yuddhacha. You do your yuddha. You do all your battle. We all have our own battles in life. Right? So Krishna says, yes, while doing all of that, mam anusmara. That is the art of Karma Yoga. While doing all of those things, we can still remember the Lord. The only thing is we have to learn the art, how to do that. Right? So the Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada says, the Krishna consciousness is focused on teaching this art to everyone in this modern age. And while you are living your life in this material world, still you can be in connection. Your so-called material activities can be your spiritual connection. Right? As we discussed, that work with integrity and that use the results of your work with generosity. So integrity means very honest, and then in the right means do the prescribed duties, learn that. Now in this modern age when people doesn't know what are the prescribed duties, very difficult. Practically everybody is doing same work. No Brahmana, no Kshatriya, everybody is doing the same job only. Corporate job. Right? So what are the prescribed duties? Difficult to figure out. We can focus on the second part. But how do you use those results? So Krishna says 3.9, third chapter of Bhagavad Gita is entitled as the Karma Yoga. So there, Krishna is teaching that what is Karma Yoga? Says, Yagnarthat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana tad artham karma kauntaya mukta sanga samajara. So whatever action you do in this world, it should be done as the sacrifice to the Supreme Lord. Yagna arthat karmano. Whatever activity you do, you have to just figure out that how to connect it to the Lord. Like say simple examples. I'll use some simple examples. And probably when we open up for the questions, people can ask more complex situations. So I'm giving the chance to people to ask the question. Simple examples is you want to eat certain food. So the philosophy of Karma Yoga is not saying stop eating food. They're saying you cook the sattvic food, which is sanctified and sanctioned food. Not like that I'll cook some non-veg or something like that and some liquor and some party. First we offer to the Lord and then we'll also enjoy. That is not the way. That is why I said sanctified and sanctioned, or I should say rather sanctioned and sanctified. First, we should figure out what is the sanctioned food. Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Doyam Yo me bhaktya brachati. And then once you cook that, then sanctify that food by offering that with love and devotion to the Lord. And you can enjoy. So this is like you're connecting. This is the connection. This is the yoga. Somebody is good in music, somebody has some skills that can be utilized in the service of Krishna. Say now, but Prabhuji, my skills are like out of the world. And I don't see any means to connect them in the service of Krishna. So I couldn't figure out that. No problem. You take some guidance from more experienced devotees. They can help you. But still you find out there's no way to engage my skills, my activities. Then whatever results we get out of that, that can be offered in the service of the Lord. That is the easiest means to connect that activity, and that becomes the same karma becomes Karma Yoga. Right. So this is very simple. And this Karma Yoga can be practiced by Krishna consciousness very easily. It is very, very difficult. People say that to be detached. It's not possible for people to be detached. Krishna is saying no problem. If you are not able to detach, you just start offering the results to me. And gradually, by Krishna's grace, that required detachment will also come when it is needed. Right? So this is what is the philosophy of Karma Yoga. So the whole idea is finding that connection, that yoga, that link. Whatever activity we do, first you figure out it's a prescribed duty. So act with integrity, and then results. Use those results with generosity. Don't become only just self-obsessed. That me. Aham mameti. Srimad Bhagavatam explains that people in this modern age, they're in this concept of aham mameti, me and mine. They can't think anything beyond this. So one should start, broadening their consciousness. And that is gradually comes with practicing of the principles of Krishna consciousness. Right? So like that, there's many more things can be said here. But what the conclusion or the short summary is, whatever we do, we have to find the connection with Krishna. And the very same act, which can be otherwise the cause of bondage, can be the cause of our liberation, cause of our spiritual connection with the Lord. Right. So these are some of the activities. I'll just share. Okay, let me just pause here and see if anybody's any quick question or any practical questions. And to share many more concepts on this Karma Yoga. I don't know if any of you can think of those things.
Hare
Otherwise,
Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
yeah,
One question. So, according to Karmanye Vadikaraste, that shloka. So, what Krishna is saying is, don't try to just control the results. Do your best. He's not asking us not to desire for the results, but he's asking us not to control the results in your favor.
yeah,
Is that right?
yeah. That's
Okay.
the right understanding. We can desire. The philosophy of Bhagavad Gita is not that you have to become desireless. And one of the verse, I think in the second chapter, last verse, Prabhupada writes that desirelessness is not possible. Desireless. People say, no, you should become the spiritual life means should become free from all the desire. There should not be any desire. Everything should become zero. It is only possible for a dead matter, like this table, a stone. This cannot desire. But the living entity cannot be desireless. So it's a false concept. So it's not about being desireless, but it is more about learning how to desire management. Maybe we'll talk about that one session, desire management. We should learn the right desires. A lot of desires, no? A lot of thoughts. Like talking to someone, and then I said to him, and people nowadays, they have a lot of thoughts in their mind, but they're hardly thoughtful. Only thoughts only. People are not thoughtful. Right? So we should be thoughtful that what I'm desiring, what is the right desire that I should have. Okay. Well, before I move to the one next section, let me just take one more question here. Hare Krishna, can we influence the karma of our children? Teach them good karma. Is there any right way to do that according to Bhagavad Gita? Yes, Krishna explains in Bhagavad Gita in the third chapter only 3.21 you can read, which is applicable to all the parents, all the leaders, which is the words for leadership. Krishna said, Yad yad acharati shrestha tat tad ev taro janaha sayat pramanam gurute yogas tad anuvartate. So it says, Yad yad acharati shrestha. Shrestha means the senior people. Now, basically, shrestha means the leaders. Now, who is a leader? Many times people think leader means some few people in the world. They're the leaders, some politicians or some CEOs of the company, they're the leaders. But the simple idea and the definition of leadership is anyone who influences is a leader. You might be influencing just one person. For a mother, mother is a leader because she influences her own child. Father is a leader, parents are the leaders, right? So, how to train the kids, how to give them the right training is first, yad yad acharati shreshthas. What is your acharan? What is your conduct? What is your life? What is your values? What are your values? So then automatically the kids will learn that. So many times, many parents they do this mistake. They're naturally, like as being a parent, they are very concerned about their kids. Their whole focus is kid, my child. He should become nice Krishna conscious. He should chant Hare Krishna mantra. He should also read Bhagavad Gita. And then sometime I ask the parents, are you doing all of those things? Say, no, we are not doing, but our child should do. The reality is, if you are not doing that, never expect. You can't expect that child will ever do that. This possibility, some special child, they can do. Some blessed child. But first, Yadid Achrati Shreshtas, what is your conduct? So the best way to teach the kids is that you do certain practice, and by your example, you can inspire them to take up some process. When you chant, and you being a, as I said in the beginning, that you a mother, but don't be just a mother, but become a Krishna conscious mother. And when we say Krishna conscious mother, very loving, very caring, with a lot of good values. And then you show by your conduct, and then you will see that automatically those values and that transformation will be reflected in your kid also. Okay, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, what is the correct understanding of offering result of our action? Correct understanding of doing that is we should be ready to sacrifice something. They said, expand your consciousness beyond me and mine. Not everything what I get, I should utilize for my own sense gratification. Go beyond this. You should extend, you know. So in so many ways it can be done. Your results can be offered in the service of Krishna. And these are all some practical questions which you can take the guidance from more experienced devotees. What kind of result it is, and how you can engage them in the service of Krishna. Okay, business cannot be started without expecting profits. So will seeking profits be considered as trying to control the business? No, you're not controlling, you're seeking, you're desiring, you're ambitious, do your best and leave the rest. So nothing wrong in desiring. The devotees also desire. Devotee desire that when we do some program, when we do some sessions, we want many people should come and join the session and get benefited. It's a desire, right? We desire that we want to build a big temple for Krishna. We should collect a lot of donations from the people, should reach out to some people. Many more people should get connected. These are all desires. So there's nothing wrong in desiring, but the point is right desires. So desire with what? What is your intention? Intention is, oh, I'm desiring a lot of money, a lot of profit so that I can enjoy more and more. And that's a wrong desire. You can desire a lot of profits, a lot of business and all of that. And then your intention is, if I get a lot of money, then probably I can utilize that in the service of Krishna. That is the right desire. So three things. The summary of the whole Karma Yoga is this three words you remember. If you forget everything, ideally you should not forget, but in case. So I'll just give you some last three words, which is what is Karma Yoga and what is the best way to do the Karma Yoga. You should focus on three things. One thing is your intention. What is your intention? Whatever you do, what is your intention? So in Bhagavad Gita, we learn our intention is connection with the Lord, serving the Lord, pleasing the Lord. So that is the intention. So your intention, but intention alone is not enough. My intention is I want to build a big temple for the Lord, right? But what I'm doing for that? Then attention. After intention comes to attention. Start doing some activity. But when you do the activity, don't do it very casually. Go do each and every minutest detail of how can I do it better. So intention, attention, and then action. So your actions are coupled with right intentions and with full attention. You are doing it right. You're in Karma Yoga. But understand that what are the right intentions? We have to get educated. Oh, my right intention is that I should become the number one in the world. This is my intention. And I want to make all the money by all the honest means. No, it is not the right intention. It is just bossing over. Sense enjoyment. Right intention is connection, spiritual connection. So intention, attention, and action. If you take care of these three things, you're rightly situated. Okay, but to develop that intention, we need to go through the whole philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. Okay, anybody in person here has the questions? I see some new faces. Feel free to ask the question. Take on the advantage of this forum if you have any questions. How can karma be different from dharma? How can a mother become a Krishna conscious mother so that mother can be doing her karma, still following dharma? without forgetting dharma. Yes. So as I said, not be just dharma, but Krishna was mother, what it means. So when the child is born, what is the dharma of a mother? The dharma of a mother is to take care of the child nicely, give all the love and affection and the care. That is the dharma. By doing all of that, you can remember Krishna in whatever best possible way you can remember, either by chanting, by hearing, or doing while you're cooking and taking care of your child. Still, you can sing some kirtan and all of that. So your child also get benefited, you also get benefited. Then gradually, child start growing. Then you start training him into Krishna consciousness. By teaching him some nice stories of Krishna. You know, develop some habit in your child that he start reading some good books, some Krishna stories, some Bhagavad Gita, and like that. And then try to create some interest in the child that he likes to come to the temple, and also educate him not to get into all kinds of bad habits as he goes to school, college, and like that. So that way you are doing your dharma and also you are a conscious mother. No. Anybody has any other questions? There's a lot of new people. Yes, you can ask.
You said every action we do, we have to connect to Krishna. And again, like through Gita or chanting and maybe reading the Gita or any other book by Prabhupada is a way to do that. But say like we were not in the position to do that. Maybe I'm just driving my car. Like, what does that mean to connect to Krishna in that case? Does that mean just thinking about Krishna, that I'm doing this for Krishna? What else?
Okay, the question is like sometimes we are not in a situation to do the things like chanting and reading. So you're driving or you're doing your work and all of that. So there are different ways of doing it. While driving, it is very easy. You can, at least if you cannot chant, still you can chant while driving, like you can sing. You can play some kirtans, you can play some, discourses like this, some recorded. There's a lot of lectures of Prabhupada and whatever, somebody you want to hear. So that way you can still be, absorb your consciousness into something about Krishna, learn something. And while now a very specific case is like, like say you are working and that demands like your full attention. You cannot afford to play some kirtan, some class or something like that. You are working in office, something very important, time sensitive thing, and it needs full attention. How you do that? So yeah, that is the real life, the real world. So when we do that, so the point is we discussed, and when we get the results of that, offer that result in the service of Krishna. So that is another way of doing it. So some result will get. Sometimes say, no, I'm just still working on some and I'm not getting some salary or something, no result is coming. No problem. As I said, intention. At least you can be cautious and careful about your intentions. And I'm doing this, I'm working hard, and I want to really grow this business or the job or whatever I want to promote so that I feel more secure, and probably I'll get some additional results or some more money or something which I can utilize in offering some service to the Lord. If that intention is there, genuinely that intention is there, not like that, if I say like this and Krishna probably can grant this, and once it comes, then I'll enjoy. We can't cheat Krishna, but genuinely, if we have that pure intention to serve Krishna, to connect Krishna, and first thing is intentions, and then if it's possible in the actions also, we should do that. So like that. So different people, different situations. We have some real life situations. So figure out the right ways to do that, and also seek some more guidance. Right? So in the spiritual life, one important thing is there's a constant guidance is needed. We've been discussing this series of verses from Nectar of Instruction. At this verse, Narupa Goswami explains Guya Makyati Prachadi. There is a principle of Guya Makyati, sharing your heart and seeking more clarification and guidance. That is very much the part of spiritual progression. So it cannot be like I learned everything, now I will just rest of my life I'll practice. We never say that we learn everything. We never learn everything. There is every day something new to learn. So that is how the life goes. We keep evolving gradually. What you think today, what is your understanding today, down the line after 5 years, you might have to rewrite that. Or 5 years back, I used to think about this concept like this, but I think differently now. We evolve spiritually. So that is very much part of. So we always seek the guidance from our senior devotees. Okay, so I think many more things couldn't cover, but that's okay. We'll cover maybe in some other occasion. But just wanted to give you some insights and some trigger points. Maybe it was helpful for some of us. So just think, try to implement, ask more questions in different forums and in different groups. Come to the temple, and we'll be doing 2 more sessions in this series. So today we discussed the Karma Yoga, and then in the next session we'll discuss about the Bhakti Yoga. So this is the yoga of work, what we discussed today. Next session we'll discuss about the yoga of love. That is what the heart is longing, the soul is longing for. So we'll discuss about that in the next session, and then we'll talk about the Jnana Yoga also in the later sessions. Okay, if anybody has any question, you can either post here and post in the group. And now let us just move on to the next part, which is actually doing the connection. We're talking about the connection, the yoga. Right, so many things can be done and learned gradually. The simplest thing can be done to connect ourselves is, in this modern age of Kali Yuga, is chanting the holy name of the Lord. So when we start to chant Hare Krishna mantra, gradually Krishna says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. I'll give you all the intelligence by which yen mamopi andide, by which gradually you get closer and closer and closer to me. So if we don't understand anything like how to do and how to figure out the things, it's too complex, this philosophy, and nothing is making sense. When we really feel, our consciousness is so cloudy, the easiest means clear consciousness and elevate our consciousness is take the beats, start chanting Hare Krishna mantra, and you will see that how mystically Krishna will start intervening in your life. Right. So this is not some theory, but this is the realization of many, many devotees. And you can also have the first-hand experience of that. Krishna's intervention mystically will come in our life, the connection, the guidance that will happen. So I request everyone that what we are chanting now, it is not only for Saturday evening, but you can practice the chanting of Hare Krishna mantra every day, any time of the day, it can be chanted. Very simple yet very profound process to connect to Krishna. So every day take out few minutes and chant Hare Krishna mantra. Those who are coming first time or new, anybody is here like who's joining us first time here? Okay, nobody is new here. Anybody is not familiar with how to chant Hare Krishna mantra? You can raise your hand so I can help you to teach you how to do that. Looks like everybody knows. So very simple. We chant this Maha Mantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So on each bead, we chant the full mantra. We always chant this mantra a little loud, so that loud and clear we can chant and hear attentively. While you're chanting, just be in that moment. Chant and hear. Don't think anything. Don't imagine anything. Just chant and hear. Okay. So for next few minutes, let us focus on chanting as loud as you can hear and attentively hearing. And before we begin, on the center beat, we chant one invocation mantra. I'm assuming that everybody got the beats. Those who did not get the beats, you can raise your hand or volunteers can come and hand over the beats to you. If you got, it is very simple. You start from the center beat, and then after this invocation mantra, we'll chant Hare Krishna mantra. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura